breezy during the timeout that really relaxed her, settled her down to be able to see the ball come at her, and it's a practice shot. It's what she does every single day that we're out on the court. Puts in extra and didn't hesitate.
On a couple, do you know what Aaliyah said to her?
I don't. Aaliyah wouldn't tell me.
And then just throughout the game, it seemed like you guys had a lot of problems with offensive rebounds, giving up points off turnovers. Just what did it say to the fortitude of your team to keep hanging in there, get it down within possession, and then just keep hanging in until they could hit the shot?
I mean, it's basketball. You make adjustments, and I thought our players did a great job at making adjustments after the half, and just, I mean, it basically just boiled down to just toughening up. I mean, I thought LSU had their way with us. They had, I mean, I think they had about 10 offensive rebounds in the first half. Ended up getting 3, and that's the difference maker. You know, they make their money off offensive rebounds. They put bags and free throws. Let me see the free throws. Free throws, rebounding and free throws. So we did a good job with that.
Alexa?
Hi, Dawn. Your team has now won 10 consecutive games when trailing by double digits dating back to November 2021. What has allowed your team and all these players, even though it's a different cast when you compare November 2021 to now, to do that, to have that resilience and to keep fighting back in those moments?
Yeah, I mean, it's circumstances. I mean, we're going to play for 40 minutes, no matter what the score is, no matter if we're down double digits or up double digits big. We try to respect the game. We try to respect our opponents and, you know, try to figure out ways to close that gap. And if it's us, it was all us the first half, you know, and I do think LSU had a lot to do with it, but once we settled in, it still was a dogfight. But at the same time, it was a game of runs. They made big plays, we made big plays. It was the team that made the last play was the one that was going to win this basketball game.
On the front to Lindsay, and then to Alan.
Hi, Dawn. Obviously a crazy crowd. I know they weren't very friendly to you, but I just wondered, what has it been like to watch women's sports?
Actually, they were calling me Boo.
Well then, what has it been like to watch women's sports just take off? I mean, this season seems to be a new level, and it's not just women's basketball, but that's definitely leading the charge.
I mean, I think it's our game. It's our game that our game's been held down and held back, and now I don't know if it's the television package or the negotiations. I don't know what it is, but I think what we are witnessing is something truly special, and the atmosphere here. I mean, everything. I've never seen as many people in the plaza, of any plaza, for a regular season game anyway. And then the energy that was in this building was great, even though we're on the other side of it. I love being in the gym with people who are really loving up on women's basketball to this level, but it's not going anywhere. It's only going to get bigger.
Who was holding it back when you say the game had been held
Who?
back?
The decision makers. Yeah, they know who they are.
Alan in the texture, and then here on the aisle. Alan, right here in front of you.
Raven had maybe the 2 biggest plays tonight, drawing that 5th foul on Angel, and then the take on the last possession. Did you see anything from her in the 4th quarter? Maybe you saw that coming, or I guess what does it say about her that she was able to do 2 different kind of plays like that late?
I mean, Raven's a competitor. What you saw is just her making 2 competitive moves. So huge to get Angel out the game. Huge when she went through all of her options of the set that we wanted to run. Couldn't complete any of the options. She put her head down and made a play, and made it. And actually, that was probably the game winner to put the game out of reach. And she needs that. Like she put so much into the game. I'm glad the game found a way to repay her in that moment.
Here on the aisle.
Coach, did it feel like a NCAA tournament Final Four type game?
Yeah, yes. I think that the crowd and the players, they made plays. They kept the crowd engaged. I thought it was just a great display of basketball. It wasn't great shooting by either team, but we made plays against each other. And, you know, I know we held the audience, the TV audience, we held their attention. I'm sure, I don't know what the ratings will be, but I mean, you can't but love what took place tonight, and hopefully it continues throughout our season.
And some time's going by, but do you still feel the same way about the BYU scheduling? Has that changed at all?
Where did that come from?
We're gonna go over here on the left side, I think there's 3 in this cluster right here.
Thanks.
Grabbed it.
Here on the left, please.
There.
You referenced the TV package and the TV audience. ESPN brought their whole crew here. I'm just curious, like, are you aware of that? Are the players aware of that? And how meaningful is it to you that, you know, ESPN brings this full crew to the game?
It means we're taking a step forward in our game. I forget his name. What is his name? ESPN guy. I mean, he's the new guy. He's the new appointed.
Jimmy Mazzaro.
No.
McAfee?
Black guy.
Stephen A? Not
No.
I don't know his name, but I met him. I had several conversations with him, and he told me that it will look different. And he's a decision maker, and he's decided to change the look of women's basketball. He's done it with the WNBA. He's doing it now for, you know, our college game, women's basketball. And for them to all be here in one place, it's called being intentional. So, you know, college game day, we'll probably visit some other campuses, and I hope the entire crew is here. The entire crew is there because it shows the commitment, and I hope the fact that he made that commitment to see LSU fill this building, create the atmosphere. We put on a great game that could have gone either way. So it was a great display of women's basketball.
Well, you've kind of talked about it, but my question was going to be, how great was the game? The competition, the athletes on both sides, all those things.
I mean, it was, when you think about just utopia, you want, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? It had all the dynamics of what you want every, women's basketball player to experience. And selfishly, we do that at our place in South Carolina, and they do it here at LSU, and they do it in Iowa. They do it in a lot of different places, but the experience that our student athletes are afforded because of what the crowd is doing and what the decision makers are doing to bring more attention to our game. We're going to talk about this for years, and I hope we don't, because they will be replaced with other experiences, and this is just normal.
We'll go to Corey and then Kate.
Hey, Dawn.
What's up, Corey? How you doing?
Dawn, doing well. How are you? Two quick ones for you. The matchup between Chloe and Anissa, especially in the first half, just how fun was that to watch? I know it was fun for us up the press row. And then two, you guys have built your teams very differently. What's it like to just match up with, teams and coaches that kind of, utilize different ways to build teams, and how it's able to, obviously you guys played a really close game, so it's interesting how you guys can build teams in different ways and still be super competitive.
Anissa and Chloe, they battle. It was great to see. I mean, two young talented posts that's just going at it, and I doubt if they were talking smack to each other. They were doing it with their game, so it was good to see them impact the game in various ways. Jump shots at the basket, put the ball on the floor. It was great basketball, and then in this day and age, you can build a team fairly quickly, through the transfer portal, we kind of do it the hard way in that our players are really ones that trust us, even when they don't play a whole lot. Like they do trust the process. And, you know, we saw Sanaya Fagan, who sat the bench for 2 years for us. She's a junior now. Now she's starting to play a little bit more. That doesn't happen very often. They're out of there. She's pretty talented. Like, she could probably go somewhere and start and play plenty of minutes. But she chose to stick it out with us. Ashlyn Watkins sat a lot last year. She's coming out, didn't play a whole lot, you know, in the first half. Finishes the game for us in the fourth quarter. It is that. So you know, basketball, I tell our players this all the time, like, it has a way of repaying you. When you treat it the right way, it will repay you. You just have to be ready for it.
Katie, and then we'll finish here on the aisle.
Hi, Dawn. You mentioned that getting Angel out the game was a huge deal. How would you characterize her impact on the game to that point, and then the impact her absence had down the stretch?
Angel is she's a talent. She's aggressive. She's poised. She's very unselfish. Like, she would give up, you know, probably a layup to kick out to 3. She's mean. Like, she's physical. She is somebody that you want to play with, because you know she's going to play to the very end. She's going to give it her all. And that's what you lose if you're LSU and she's out of the game for the last 4 minutes of the game. I mean, you lose that. And obviously they did a great job at tying the score and taking the lead in her absence, but you don't get another offensive rebound. She's gonna get it. You don't get a steal. You don't get a spectacular block. And for us, you know, we tried to capitalize on her absence by picking on the freshmen, and I thought Della Rosario did a great job. You know, she held her own, and she's getting better. But when you lose Angel, you lose a big part of what they do, because she touches the ball and she makes the right decisions.
We'll finish here on the aisle.
End of first quarter, end of second quarter, you hit threes both times, and then Bree hit a couple big threes the final minutes. Just what impact do you think that ability to hit the outside shot has had on your team this season?
Yeah, we don't win as many games if we're not hitting threes. So, you know, for us, we practice them. We try to execute them in the basket and in the games. And I wish we shoot a little bit more. I do, because we don't take bad shots. We don't take bad threes. We might take bad 2s, but we don't take bad 3s. So if we can get a little bit more greedy with it, Pow, Breezy, Ray, Tessa, we didn't get Tessa in the game enough for her to stretch the floor for us, but she can knock down some 3s too. It gives us a shot at winning a game in this type of environment when it was hard for us to get a bucket. It was hard for us to score in the paint. It was hard for our post players to score. So the 3s loosen things up a little bit.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. After, she's gonna go change. Okay, I'll text her.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know. I'll text you guys too. Yeah.